All right, what's up, everyone? Take your seats. This is lecture 4 of AP Finance. Um, I know it's been about like 10 days or so since I posted anything. Like I kind of said when I started the whole thing, I was just brain rotting a bunch of finance stuff. I always wanted some sort of YouTube channel for like years, like since high school or so, around like fitness, finance. Kind of like those were the things that I followed. So I was like, oh, well, why not? Why not do this? But I just constantly procrastinated, and I, churned out a couple of those things on like, 3 things or 3 rules that you'll do and then you'll be rich. Um, which I know is a little bit clickbaity, and I kind of hate that that's what social media has come to, or just YouTube in general has come to. But I mean, it's not wrong. Like I'm not here to swindle anyone. Um, I actually hate when people do that, and I'm like very like when people are anti-ethical. Like it's messed up. But that, and then I was just going on about the whole sort of how people lied to you about money. Again, yeah, a little clickbaity, I know, but everything in there is obviously things I've observed and things I actually believe in. So in this one, in this lesson, I just wanted to like, because I made a progress update video on my shoulder. So I was like, oh shoot, let me go back to AP Finance and AP Finance, but AP, like let's do something, because I do want to say, and sorry, I usually like to go like straight to the point, but I did want to say, shout out to like this is wild. I just did this on a whim. I have no idea how to make videos. I don't even use Instagram. I only use Snapchat because stupid Samsung and Droid people who don't have iMessage. But you know, shout out to Mr. Moneyboy Roy. This actually made my day. Like I wasn't expecting anyone to comment or even get a subscriber, but I got 2 subscribers, which was like, what the heck? That's funny. I mean, of course, the whole point of this is not necessarily for clout or just sucking validation off the internet, but it is good to hear appreciation. I feel like that's the mindset. It's more of providing value for people, and then people just enjoy sharing that and appreciating it. And I don't want to get too deep about it, but he just said, and I quote, "Love finding hidden gem videos. Great video, man." And yeah, that was about 10 days ago today. And I just want to say, shout out to you. Thank you so much. Like, I'm honestly honored for someone in my first couple of videos to consider this or that one. It was the last video, the part 2 of they lied to you about money. Um, I'm just honored that someone thinks of it as a hidden gem video, because I've been there too, where I'm like, wow, this is really good stuff, or it's super funny, like it's hilarious, like the bad quality video, and it's just great, good stuff. Small YouTuber, not really a YouTuber, just for fun, and it seems like I was in the wheelhouse for that video, so I was just really happy. I just want to say shout out, thank you so much for that comment. That honestly means the world in all of this, and actually gives me motivation to be like, hey, maybe I actually have some stuff that can help people, and like I should take this more seriously. And speaking of which, this video, I want to talk about just kind of retiring, the idea of retirement. So I know for me, and also I'll give it like basically very simple. If you have no idea how to go about it, just applying the exact concepts I used in the last couple of videos, and then me having my first job, slave to corporate America, this year, since I graduated college last year. And I guess news flash, I just had my birthday recently on the 5th. So it's been, I guess, about a year, almost. I think as of like Tuesday, it'll be like a year since I graduated, which is crazy. But yeah, basically, you have your first full time job. Typically, that comes in the questions and talks of like 401k, all of that. But back to the whole idea of retiring, the idea of retirement. So I know I've watched a lot of videos because for me, it's all about financial freedom, not having to work at a job you hate and all that stuff. But I think we get lost in the idea of that. And there's this extremely good YouTuber, and I will always vouch for this guy because he is someone who was like a hidden gem a few years ago, I found, but has just became ultra successful and honestly, I would say one of the best YouTubers all around. And it's Abdal. I hope I'm saying that right. But Ali Abdal, I watched one of his videos among many retirement videos. Um, but his was a little bit different, which kind of it kind of spoke to inner voice, or I guess inner, just something inside of me that I knew was there, but I guess I didn't really want to accept the reality of it because it knows that I'm like, I need to do some work to figure this out. And the whole point is like, I watched all these different videos, right? It's all about financial freedom. Okay, how to retire as fast as you can. Basically, it's a lot about making money, saving a big chunk, investing a lot, and then getting to that big pot of money, right? That retirement, that 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, whatever it is, right? A lot of it's about how to calculate your fire number, which means like financial, the fire community, financially independent or financial independence, retire early, but also just your retirement number because that's what it really is. Retirement isn't necessarily an age. It's just we think of that because that's what the government has set with Social Security and all that. That's when you can access all those things. But really, it's having that pot of money at coincidentally or consistently or in like consistent with that age that the government gives us, which is like that 67 or something right now. Which to me, I'm like, that's way too old, bro. Like you're 67, like your life's already done. Like there's nothing to enjoy after that besides the last decade, maybe two, you have with like family, friends, all that. But your friends are literally dying and all that stuff. Like you might have all the money, but you don't even have the people left to enjoy it. So obviously, it's not about the age, it's about that number: million, 2 million, 3 million. And then you can pull from that money to pay for your expenses, right? Basically, replace your income without doing the work anymore because you already did the work. If you make $80,000 a year and that's all you need to, satisfy your lifestyle and bills and stuff, and then you have a bunch of money, like $2 million, and then you take out, 4% of that, $80,000 a year, right? Of course, that was like super simple, over oversimplification, oversimplification, no taxes, no fees, no inflation in there, but just simple concept, right? But I watch all these videos and then I'm trying to be like, okay, yeah, what's my number? Okay, figure out my number. Okay, now I need to get to that number. How do I get there as soon as possible? Because $1 million, $2 million, like that's a lot of money. Okay, like yeah, you can save, and honestly, for me, it's like 10 million because I'm thinking, 30, 40 years from now, even if I do like, okay, it's like, okay, I'll retire at 60, whatever. Like I love working in the Matrix for 40 years, and retiring when I'm busted just physically, like everything's falling apart, right? I mean, it's difficult to get there, right? Even if I maxed out a lot of retirement accounts, it's really hard to get there. Like you basically you need a business, right, to retire very early with a lot of money. Getting there the job route is possible, but it requires a long time, compound interest and all that. But the point is, trying to do all that, but then you got to think about it like, what's the reality of what you're trying to do? And the reason I brought up Ali Abdal is because he read a book by Naveen, forgot his last name, but it's a long last name, and I think it was the Almanac of Naval, I think it's Naval, whatever his last name is. But basically, it was like concepts of retirement, because retirement is like a thing that was like basically made up by the government. It's not like a real thing, right? Like you were just born into it in like the postmodern world of where it was like a dream kind of sold by the government, like going this retirement home, going on vacation, all this stuff, so that you can make people work for so long. So then they reach this pinnacle of retirement and then they're in their golden years, right? Which kind of sounds like crap, right? Because how is your golden years when you're old? Like everyone always wants to be young. Like how is your golden years when you're old? But anyway, it was like the concepts of retirement, and from what I remember that video, and I've watched it a couple times now, more than once, is like there's the concept of retirement where you just have your regular retirement. You know, you work like all your life, then you're at like 70, and then you live for 10, maybe 20 years, and you just pull from that money, and now you can do whatever, um, like health permitting. And then another concept is like kind of taking short retirements. Okay, like say every 5 to 10 years, you save a lot of money, you invest a lot of money, but it's like, well, think about it. If you make like say $50,000 a year, and then you did that for 10 years, but you saved 10,000 each year. Well, by the end of those 10 years, if you have 10, that's $100,000, right? And let's say just magically you have no expenses or big things, like basically large things that happen, and you still have all that money. Well, you could technically not work for 2 years, right? Obviously, probably wouldn't be the smartest, but like, say you just didn't work for 6 months, you basically took like a mini retirement right there, right? And then like another concept is there is no retirement because your life is already the life that you want to live. And I think the Naval, whatever his last name was, in the Ali Abdal video, again, I don't want to take credit for any of this, right? This is all from him. Is when you're not sacrificing today for a future tomorrow, or that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like sacrificing today for like a better tomorrow. It's like, because that's what everyone's doing. They go to work. Hey, I work at this call center to make money to feel better tomorrow, right? So you're always living externally, like into the future. Well, then you're retired, right? Like, say you love your life or you love your job. Say you want to be a school teacher, you're a school teacher and you like it. And even if you didn't get paid for it, you do it. Like, that's what retirement is. To me, retirement, yeah, I mean, it's not even to me. Like, that should be the definition of retirement. The definition of retirement should not be, I'm going to make a lot of money and then I'm going to use that money to not work anymore. Like, and that's honestly my issue of like I don't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of, especially after high school, it's just you're just kind of meandering through life, just going with the motions. There's really no purpose. It's like, yeah, it's just to make money, just kind of do I'm like, yeah, I want to fast track that. Like, yes, I have a purpose in a sense. I want to be very financially ahead, I guess, and then retire early and all that stuff. And like, yeah, spend time with people, do things that are fun, right? But there's no like overarching like what I do for most of my day is contributing to this goal or this thing, this thing that's larger than me that satisfies me, but also produces useful output to the world or to you in terms of money. And so I think that should be the real retirement. The retirement doesn't need to be I'm going to have $2-3 million in the bank or an investment account and pull from it. It can be I have a lot of cushion. I have a bunch of money, but maybe I don't need 2 million. Maybe I just need 1 million or 500,000. Which so I still do the same things as if I was striving for 2-3 million. But then along the way, or honestly, right now, you do the work to find a purpose that is beyond just self-satiating things, like just selfish desires. And then your job or career makes just enough money or maybe even a little bit more to satisfy that, so that every day you actually like your day, thus retired. So it's just something just popped in my head that maybe should talk about. But that's really all. Stay rich, stay humble. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.